welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being a part of this program. So the name of the program is the Twin Flame Path to Ultimate Healing and Oneness, and that is the goal of our journey, and that is the goal of this program, to help you find that in whatever way that means for you. So this video is really just going to be, just some background, what to expect. I have some notes here because I'm not the most linear thinker nor speaker, so I want to keep myself on track. This is such a wonderful group of people. Everybody who's in this program right now is motivated. You're all motivated to your own healing, and that's beautiful, and that's something that we don't see a lot, when we look out in society, and this isn't meant to be said with judgment. I just want you to recognize how much you are doing just by enrolling in this program and then going through this program. This is a giant step. So the message that I got whenever I first developed this program came from nowhere. I mean, there was no strategizing or thinking, but I, in case you didn't see the video where I gave a little bit of background on this, I'll just tell you super quickly. Whenever I first started putting my work out there online in terms of energy healing, I didn't have an intention to work with twin flames. I did not have an intention. I didn't set out in my business plan, that's what I'm gonna do, But I found I had a lot of twin flame clients, and even if they weren't clients, I would get a lot of DMs, emails, questions. And I never really talked much about my own journey, and I'll go into that in just a second, the reasons why, and just a little bit about myself. But so I got all these people reaching out to me, and I asked, there has to be a reason for it, right? And so I went into a deep meditation, and I asked what my role was. What am I supposed to do? Because I know that there's teachers out there. There's teachers who teach about the twin flame journey, who teach just primarily on twin flames, and I never completely felt like an alignment. I didn't feel like that was 100% right for me. So I'm like, what is my role? How do I best serve? And what I got is that everybody in this collective, in the Twin Flame Collective, who identifies as twin flames, who came across this knowledge, you are at a place where you are very ready to heal. And being a natural healer, a Reiki master, that is how I am able to best serve you in your own journey. So I'm not going to be telling you what to do. I will be giving you guidance. I will be giving you tools. But the rest, this is a personal journey. We don't fit into boxes. So you have your lessons that you need to learn, just like I have my lessons that I need to learn. We all have different healing that needs to take place. But at the end of the day, it is a healing journey. It's a journey of growth. It's a journey of expansion. And the main message that I got was the very first step for all twin flames. The reason why we incarnated as twin flames, is for oneness. First, to find that oneness with yourself. So oneness with yourself really means unconditional love. In therapy, we call it unconditional positive regard, and that just means you view yourself, no matter what you do, no matter what mistakes you've made, no matter what mistakes that you may make, you view yourself with loving kindness. And that's very hard. I actually, just a side note, I heard that dogs were given to people because they're just, you think of a dog, you think of unconditional love, right? If you have a dog, they unconditionally love you. Most dogs. And I actually heard that they were given to us as an example of how we should love ourselves. So if you think of just the friendliest golden retriever, a lab, or you just I love you, I love you, I love you, that's actually how you should be feeling about yourself. Now, this is not ego, and this is not to say that we can do whatever we want, but I just love myself and all is well. No, You love yourself through the lessons that you learn. So this journey is about lessons. We make mistakes. We end up in relationships or having interactions with people that create or cause certain emotions, create a disharmony. And it's not just this doesn't happen for no reason. It happens so that we learn lessons. It also doesn't happen so that we beat ourselves up. So very often we're just so hard on ourselves. We beat ourselves up for every single past mistake, everything we think we did wrong, everything that went wrong, every missed opportunity. But that is not the purpose of this journey. The purpose is to find the love for yourself no matter what, and take a step back and say, what was the lesson? What did I need to learn from that? And we'll go more into this a little later. So yeah, that is just the purpose of, and that's the message that I got when creating this program. So first we find the oneness with ourselves, and as we heal ourselves, then we're able to find that oneness with the twin flame. Because if you have read about twin flames, or if you have personal experience, or both, then you know that twin flames often act as a mirror, and can be a triggering relationship, because they mirror in us what we need to heal, and we mirror in them what they need to heal. So if you are in separation, or I know that everybody's on different stages in this twin journey, so whatever stage you're in right now, know that the more you heal, when it helps twofold. First, the mirroring that you will be doing for your twin will be that of unconditional love, okay? So that helps them. Secondly, you will be in the mindset and just the process and the embodiment of this love and learning lessons. So when you are triggered from your twin, then you're able to take a step back and say, whoa, now you know this is a trigger. What do I need to heal? What is my lesson? And that's not to say you suppress your emotions or anything. You know, if something creates anger, you allow that anger to process. But then after it processes, after you feel it, and you allow it to pass, then you can take a step back and say, what is my lesson here? And I don't want to, I would hope this goes without saying, but we're not encouraging anybody to be in any sort of abusive relationship, verbal, physical, anything like that, of course. What I'm speaking to are just those triggers, the triggers of the ego that we do to one another in twin flame relationships, that we do to one another just in everyday relationships. The more you work on your own healing, the more you can learn your lessons from the triggers and allow them to go and allow them to pass. And the more gentle you can be with your counterpart as they are triggered. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to speak a little bit about is what is a twin flame, and talking a little bit about these dynamics and twin flame contracts. I don't want to talk too much about that because I feel like probably most of you have already read articles or watched YouTube videos just to discover that you were a twin flame. It's not like we just wake up one day like, I think I'm a twin flame. I think that's what it is. No, you stumble across the information, and that's all divinely guided. That's all divinely intervened. You stumble upon it for a reason. But what I want to state for the purpose of this program is, if you know you're a twin flame, then you are. And the message that I got is we all have a twin flame. Now, some might not ever recognize it. Some might not ever meet that person in this lifetime. But throughout the course of our lives, especially going forward, to aid in our own healing, we actually do have that twin flame relationship. But the people who identify in this collective of twin flames are awake to it. You're aware of it. And I know that's different than a lot of other teachings, and I'm not trying to contradict it. That's just that whenever I channel that message, that was the message that I got. So take that. It honestly doesn't matter. If you know you're a twin flame, then you are. So it doesn't matter if anybody else is. What I just want to state for the purpose of this program is, don't compare your journey against anybody else's journey. Don't. We're not meant to fit in these little boxes. As humans, we try to make things fit in little boxes because it's just how we make sense of the world. And that happens in twin flames. Like, there's all these stages and you have to go through all these stages. And if you don't go through all these stages, then you're not a twin flame or it's not going to work. And that's not true. It's not. And maybe you do go through all the stereotypical stages, but that's your journey. And there's plenty of other people out there who have. There's also other people out there who haven't gone through every single stage, at least in the manner that they're typically described. So I just want to point that out. If you know you're one, you are one. Don't compare yourself to anybody else's journey. And I encourage every single person here to just be respectful of yourself, of your own divine union, your own divine relationship, and everybody else's. So just respect it and say, that's beautiful that they are going through this path of healing just like I am, instead of saying, oh, well, they don't seem like the typical twin flame relationship, or things like that. And I know that, nobody enrolled in a program like this would do something like that, but it does happen a lot in the twin flame community. Like, I just see it a lot. So if you see it happening, that's not something I encourage you to feed into. And I know I'm speaking from personal experience. I have fed into that kind of stuff, and it's made me not feel good. But then I had to take a step back and say, well, what was my lesson in that? Why did I get all emotionally involved in like some little drama? Not that I ever personally was, but just like reading it and reading comments and stuff. I'll be like, the downfall of humanity is like these comments, people getting all up in arms about them. But, I encourage you, for your own emotional well-being, spiritual well-being, to just let that be. And anybody who is involved in anything like that, those are their lessons. That's something that they just need to work out. But it's going to be best if you just are sure in yourself, you unconditionally love yourself. And just everybody, please be supportive of everybody else in this group, and know that we're all here for the same purpose. And it's just such a beautiful energy. Okay, so soul contracts. Twin flames incarnated at the same time for a purpose, to help one another heal, to help one another find this purpose that they have in this lifetime. Now, when I say purpose, I don't necessarily mean a career, a business, although that can be part of it. But I want you to imagine that your soul and your twin flame soul, when you were not incarnated into this human body that's filled with emotions, that has, on this earth, that just has a lot of chaos going on. But before all that, when you were your true essence, when you were just this being of light and unconditional love, however you picture for yourself, whatever that means for you, you said, you know what? We're going to incarnate and we are going to help each other. And so then you did, and as you came here, as you were born, you forgot all that. You don't remember it. And you came here, and a lot of the twin flames, pretty much every single twin flame I talked to, like, you just knew that there was a connection. You didn't know what a twin flame was, but you knew there was this connection with this other person. It's like this spark, and that's just your souls recognizing each other. And I'll go into this a little bit more about like energy and consciousness and what I talk about when I say soul. But yes, you incarnated and you just felt that soul connection, that beautiful soul connection. And then there was the healing process. Like, remember, you made that deal with each other, like, we're going to help each other heal. And how you do that is by the triggering that goes on. And being a human and having all these emotions and all these influences, we're like, what is going on? But at the end of the day, your higher selves were doing it for both of your own good, so that you could grow into these beings that you really wanted to here on Earth. And again, it's going to look different for everybody. So maybe somebody came here and you wanted to just completely be peaceful and feel free. Well, then a twin flame relationship is going to give you the lessons that you need to be able to get to that state. Maybe another one of you came down here like, I really want to stand in my power and just be this powerful leader. Well, then your twin flame is going to help you get to that place. And twin flames can be very encouraging. They can be very super like in alignment. But again, there's that triggering, because it seems like from the triggering, that's how we learn our lessons. We know what's not healed within us, and what isn't healed within us are what is blocking us from getting to where we want to go, being who we want to be. So again, what I'm going to do in the next lesson is explain a little bit more about what I'm talking about. So there is a theory that twin flames are one soul that's split. You can, if you believe in that, I don't know, because I'm not the divine ultimate consciousness. The way that I feel in my personal relationship and in a lot of twins I work for is that there are these two souls that kind of have this contract to help each other. And union is the goal, union is the motivation. But all the other stuff along the way is this healing that we go through. Okay, so yeah, so the point of this journey is really lessons and growth and healing. It's what it is at the end of the day. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about my story, and I don't share my story, and there's a reason for that. I had never had any intention of sharing my story with anybody, but then once I got a lot of twin flames reaching out to me, I wondered, should I? Would it be helpful? And right now, no. And I will tell you why. Whenever I put myself out there on social media, YouTube or Instagram or whatever it is, I open myself up to a lot of different energy. I open myself up to judgment, to people not liking me, to me triggering other people. You know, it's just, and also beautiful energy, like the energy I get from all of you. So I don't want to discount that. Like that's what I cherish and hold on to. But, you know, I open myself up to all sorts of energy. And and that's fine for me. Like I try and protect myself energetically. I try and anything that's not of love and light, I try and let it pass. But I don't want to open up my relationship to that energy. I just don't, and that's a conscious choice that I'm making. Because even if I get 99% of people that are just, you know, full of love and light, you know, there's always that 1% that through judgment and just negative thinking and ill will and whatever it is, that energy comes from them, and I'm just closing that off. It's not an option. Now, those of you who I've worked with individually, you know that sometimes I'll share stories with you. So with my clients, I trust you. I trust you with this knowledge, because I know your soul. I know that you will cherish it and safeguard it, and I do so always to, if I think that it could be helpful at all for things that you're going through. So I'll share some with you, and probably throughout the course of the lessons, I'll share more and more. But I don't want you to think I'm holding anything back or I'm trying to be deceitful. The second reason that I don't share a lot is because this isn't just me. You know, I want to be respectful to my counterpart. It's not just my journey, and if it was just my journey, then maybe I'd share more. But this is a healing journey that goes on between two people. And it's not my place to speak of the other healing journey. And so those are the two reasons. I appreciate all of the stories that you share with me, and like I said, on an individual basis, I share them back, but I just don't want you to ever think that I'm trying to hide anything from you. Those are just the reasonings and the choice that I made. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story, and as I said, you'll get more tidbits going along. But looking back, it was the typical like twin flame stages. We lived in different parts of the country. We were very different in terms of different races, backgrounds, and just like how we grew up, really. And we kind of met it wasn't by chance, but divinely intervened, and there was just like that, what is this, you know? And it was definitely at a time when I was like not looking for anything. I was like kind of dating somebody else, but then like I was like, I don't know what's going on here, but we're gonna like go with it, you know? And so yeah, I don't know even know if that other person was karmic, but we had to let them go. And then so we made some pretty big moves, and we I would say went through what would be considered like a separation or withdrawal, but not as you would typically call it. So we stayed together through that, if that makes sense. It was more of a very emotional, energetic, more a separation. And during that time, that's when I found out about twin flames. And so it was a very long, well, time's relative, but it was an intense healing journey. And so during that time, and that's why I bring this up really, is during that time I was getting trained in Reiki, so I was doing some energy work. I was starting to learn about twin flames, but I didn't really know. Like, I just watched a weekly card reading, and it seemed like this Carolyn Kundalini, she like spoke to me, but I still didn't understand. Like, I never like Googled what the different stages were of twin flames at that point. But I just started doing these healings, and since we were not in a no contact kind of separation, I could see how every single time that I worked on these different things that I'll take you through in this program, what an impact it had. And so I think my journey may have been a little different for that reason, because I needed to see it. And I know a lot of you can feel it in yourself as you go through this healing. And I know some of you have reached out and you said, yeah, you know, it's gotten a little better, I've seen this difference. And but a lot are just kind of in the dark. You have no idea. You trust that what you're doing is having an effect, but you can't physically see it to absolutely know with your human brain, your human eyes. And I know when I was going through it, I needed that constant reassurance. Like, I did this, oh my gosh, look. Like, so I think that I was given that opportunity so that I could share it, and so that I knew and I could help others, especially when you can't physically see it. So yeah. Now, talking back about, so that's just a little bit about my journey, and like I said, I'll give you little tidbits of things along the way. Now, in your own healing journey, and I speak 100% from experience and 100% from clients that I've worked with. These aren't just things and some intuitions, but this isn't just like something I just made up with my human brain. I do encourage you to do what is best for you, what's best for your own growth. And I don't want you to discount anything. So this program is going to give you healings. It's going to give you energy healings. It's going to give different meditations, different guidance, different exercises for you to do. Again, that's all guidance. Throughout my journey, and as I continue along it, I have gone to all different kinds of healers, multiple times. We also did just standard therapy together. And so don't discount that. Don't discount therapy, traditional therapy for yourself or in the relationship. Now, I will tell you, it's actually kind of funny, because whenever I was looking for one, I went about it in like a metaphysical way. So I'm like trying to find the best fit, and I find somebody, and I was like intuitively guided, and I was like, okay, I think this is it. But if you are intuitive, or if you have cards or anything, you know that sometimes your intuitions aren't always, it's not always easy to get your own intuitive guidance as it is to like get it for somebody else. And so I have my friend who does a lot of work with a pendulum, which is just a metaphysical tool. And I had her verify that that was the right fit. And it was. And that worked for a period of time until it didn't anymore. And that it got us to, you know, a point that it could through that modality. And so I bring that up just to encourage you to do what you need to do. And it's not that, none of my healings are going to be like boom magic, okay? We will do a healing grid. I have a healing grid for every single one of you that I'm going to do. It's going to be infused with high vibrational energy. Again, we'll talk about energy in the next video a little bit more for those who really aren't familiar with what I'm doing, how it's working, all that kind of stuff. So please watch the next video for more information about that. But I will give you a healing grid, but it's not magic. It's not like you do one session and boom. Everything's fixed. And what I've found is certain healers and certain people take you to a certain point. So if you feel guided to do anything, try it. Go with it. And if at a certain point that no longer fits, then it just doesn't fit. That's taken you to a certain place, and it's time for you to find your next step, your next modality. So that can be talking about any aspect of healing, of spirituality, of teachings, books, like any sort of information, any sort of tools. They take you to a certain place, and maybe you use them forever, and maybe you just use them for 6 months or 2 weeks or whatever. Like, it gets you to a certain point, and then the journey continues, and that's how our whole lives will be. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to say in this introductory video. The next video it's going to be the first actual lesson, and then there's going to be a healing as well. So like I stated in the email, we're going to have the first and third Monday of every month, you will get a video like this and a healing, and I do it every other week because I want to give you time to actually be able to watch it, to be able to do it. The more that you can do the healings that I give you and the exercises, the better. But again, if you find something that's working better for you at that time, and you just want to do like the healing once or twice, and you have something else that you feel more aligned, then do that. But if you do feel aligned with what we're doing, if it makes you feel better, if you're noticing a difference on even a subtle level, and it might take a while to notice a difference. So there is an element of trust too. But if you feel aligned with it, then I encourage you to continue to do it as often as you can within like the 2-week span. So every first and third Monday, we're going to do the lessons. I'm going to give you 3 energies every week, just some things to like work on. And it's either going to come in an email or a video or both, depending on the week. And then we're going to have live Q&A. So if you send me questions and I don't answer, then it will be answered in the live Q&A. But certain questions I'll get back to you. I'm not trying to ignore anybody. As explained with my first email, it's just I need enough time to guide you through this program, so I just need time to like meditate and get the intuitions for these things. And then also a lot of questions can help the group. So I really would love to have this be just a really supportive group. So the live Q&As will be a live energy healing, a card reading, and then the Q&A section. And if you can't make it the live ones, then it's going to be recorded and sent out. So you'll still have that available to you. Okay, so if you have any particular questions about this program, please do email me and I will let you know and answer any specifics. And then I will see you in the next video. I'm so excited, guys. So much love and light to you.